What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing another sneaker review, and it's going to be on the Yeezy 700 V3 Arzareth. So here we have the shoe in all of its glory, and right off the bat I can say I really like this shoe. I just don't particularly like this colorway. The 700 V3 model is a favorite Yeezy model of mine, but in particular this colorway isn't really my style. So if you guys didn't know, the 700 V3s are the third iteration of the 700 Yeezy line. Between the V1s and V2s, there wasn't too much of a difference besides the uppers. It was mostly paneling changes, but the overall shape and feel of the shoe was the same. But compare the V1 and 2s to the 3s, it's a whole world of a difference. Not only in its paneling, but its materials used and the fact that there's no boost in this one. And for me personally, depending on the colorway, I could go either way between the V1 and the V3. If it's the OG colorway of the V3, then I'm definitely going with these over all of the other ones. But if it's the OG version of the V1, this comes in a strong second for me overall. Even though the V3 is greatly different from the V1s and V2s, they still keep a bunch of key details that keep them relatable to those. Even though this isn't my favorite colorway, just the model in general does it for me. It's so different and out there, and I feel like they really hit it out the park with this.
Just off first looks, the shoe has a really alien looking shape. You wouldn't even really think it's a shoe at first glance if you didn't know. And the colorway is pretty good. It's not my favorite, but the blue is very rich and the cream is very profound.
Compared to the V1 and V2 version of the shoe, they've taken away some materials and added in new ones.
The shoe's upper replaces its previous version's suede, mesh, and leather for instead a nylon and rubber take. It's very different from the older versions and it stands out for that. And I actually like this change because you don't really see that on a Yeezy, honestly. And the fact that it's more of a one-piece construction than multiple panels and leathers makes it a world of difference in my opinion. And the midsole is very nice. It's one piece and it doesn't have any designs on it, so it looks a lot clean and simplistic to me. And I like how on the back it has the Adidas logo, and that's the only branding you really see besides the insole.
A major striking detail on the V laces for me are their laces.
So as you can see, the stock laces you can't really take off. They're connected on the top and they're meshed together in a way that you can't remove them. And that's to make the shoe a slip-on form factor. However, they do come with extra spare laces that if you want to be able to tie them, you can cut the laces off that are on stock and replace them with these.
Honestly, if I have the choice between cutting these off and putting these extra ones on, or leaving these as they are, I'm probably just going to leave them as they are. 99.9% of my shoes already tie the laces, so it's nice to have something different for a change. Another difference that separates the V3s from the older versions are the insoles that they use.
The insoles are pretty interesting as they use the ortholite ones as compared to the standard Yeezy ones. These are the same insoles used on the Yeezy 500 lows and 500 highs. The cool thing about these is that they have different areas that have different amounts of stiffness and softness compared to where your foot needs. And that's pretty cool compared to a regular insole.
I'm not too sure how much these affect the comfortability of the shoe overall, but just the fact that they threw them in anyways is super nice. Speaking of comfortability, I was actually surprised at how comfortable these shoes were despite the lack of boost in them. I don't know if it's because of the cushioning and also the insole on top of that, but it was like really comfortable and I had a nice ride in it. I'd say it's comparable to even the 350 V2s, maybe even the 380s. And yeah, I had no problems with that whatsoever. I would say if you want a really snug fit that grips your foot, go true to size, but if you want more space, go half a size up, as these run more narrow than the older 700s. A key detail from the V3s that return from the V1s and V2s are the outsole.
This is one of the key details I was mentioning before. It's cool that even though the V1s and V2s are so different from the V3s, they have subtle details that hold and tie them together in that regard. The fishbone pattern is similar but not the same. It still looks good, but it feels and looks just as good on the V3s as it does on the V1s. It's pretty good overall, and the treading is pretty good as well when you're walking. Just as good, I guess. And I have really no complaints about that. They did a good job putting it in and incorporating it into the threes.
It's super subtle and you're not even going to be looking at it that much, but the fact that they decided to incorporate it from the older model into the newer model is pretty cool to me. As you may or may not know, the older 700s had 3M hits on them that'd be on the side and the back of the shoe, and surprisingly, they maintained that on the V3s right here.
I love how subtle and simple the 3M detailing is. In regular lighting, you're not going to notice it, but if the light hits at just the right angle or a flash of light hits, it gives a nice little pop to the shoe.
Now the most striking, jarring, and probably out there feature of the shoe is that the cage along the sides of them, they actually glow in the dark.
The glow in the dark aspect is by far my favorite feature on the shoe, because even though the show was as complete as it was, Adidas was like, hey, let's throw in something extra like a cherry on top. And the glow in the dark isn't weak either. Like when it activates, it's pretty strong and it's pretty profound, and I really like it.
Yeah, between the Yeezy model's use of 3M and glow-in-the-dark materials, it shows that they weren't afraid to go crazy on this shoe, and it's like more of a free reign that they have on it. And I guess it goes with the whole overall shape and how it's not anything that you really see usually. It's in its own lane, if anything. And yeah, I mess with that. Overall, the Yeezy Arzareth, they're a beautiful shoe. I love the model overall. It's like top 3 of my overall Yeezy models. They did a pretty good job on this, and the colorway is pretty nice. It's just that it's not in my style, it's not in my taste. I wouldn't personally wear these, but I could see these looking good on a lot of other people. Besides that, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for a colorway that I like more like the OG colorway, which I really like, but it's super expensive at this point. And yeah, but that's it for this sneaker review. Let me know what you think of the shoes. Would you cop? Would you pass? And let me know if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending your time. And I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.